afternoon and I had summer school today. I substituted for 6th grade English and we got out at noon and it was a good day. They were reading Voyage of the Dawn Treader by C.S. Lewis, and so today's technically the second to last day of summer school, so they did watch the film and had to like compare and contrast it with the book and everything. So tomorrow they will finish the film and I will have them work on written work with some prompts. But that's why I didn't pop in this morning. We kind of got up a little late. Last night we had our home group, and so we didn't have the last guest leave till like after 9. So we definitely slept in a little this morning. So I don't really have much of an update with the book. I mean, if you saw my last vlog, I finished Habits of the Household. And so now I'm reading In This Moment. And I haven't picked up that book since I think Saturday. I can't remember. Oh, probably Friday. So it's just been a busy weekend, and Mondays are usually busy. But I am very much itching to get back into the book. Right now it is going to be lunchtime, and we're going to the tutoring session with my cousin. And so that's going to take up a good chunk of this afternoon because they do live about 30 minutes out. Hopefully I will have time this evening to read. Well, I'm at the part for the book about page 60, maybe a little bit further, but things are starting to ramp up. Maggie, I am loving her character. I think that I'm really going to enjoy this book. I'll come in and update you another time this evening. If not, then definitely tomorrow. Okay, book friends, just imagine this whole line of dirt is covered in weeds. This is what we did this morning. This whole line. My sister and I got it done. Now to give you a picture of how bad it probably looked, this side over here, just as bad. That's for another day. June 27th. Yeah, Thursday. I apologize. I have not checked in with you since Monday. As you saw, there was a lot of just footage of different things we were doing, whether it was housework, spending time with my husband slash my siblings, and we've been wanting to watch The Hobbit, and so we put in the second one in there. So it was a lot of different clips, but that's kind of like our summer is spontaneous in itself. So I haven't been reading as much, so didn't really have much of an update. So I am working through this book. I am on page 192, so almost to 200 pages, like 200 pages in, and I do like the book. So it's not the fault of the book, it's just I liked When the Day Comes so much more than I do in this one. Not saying this one's bad or anything. I do enjoy it. I like the 3 timelines. Of course, it was harder to get into because there was so much time that passed between all these timelines, and I found like I liked one timeline a little better. And even some characters I'm like suspicious about, and so like not really liking that character because I'm like, I have a suspicion about this person. And then I like others much better. But the history is great and everything. It's just a little harder for me to kind of get into because I have to switch through 3 timelines. So it's a hard thing to do, but yeah. So I am enjoying it. But I think the first book's kind of my favorite. But it's still early to tell. I'm halfway through this book. It's still great. I'm still very curious because we're really in the thick of it now. And there are just some decisions where I'm like, what is she gonna do? And yeah, so I'm excited. Hopefully I'll get this done by tomorrow. I'm also wanting to catch up with my other channel. I neglected that channel too. If you don't know, I do have a journaling channel. It's mostly flip throughs right now. So I'm kind of going through like my old journals and just flipping through some of them. I've done a lot of bullet journaling before. I have tried life journaling this past year, and this year I'm doing like a daily journaling. So I just like being creative. I've been very picky when it has come to planners, and making my own has been a creative outlet. So I do want to get another video up. That's what I'm going to try to do, is to do that today as far as like filming and prepping and hopefully getting a video up soon. So if that's something you're interested in, or interested in just journaling, that's primarily what it is, just showing like old journals. But I do hope to expand that with like plan with me's. I mean, that would be something that I could link down below and you can check it out for yourselves. And yeah, so that's the plan, and I will see you guys in another segment. It is Friday, June the 28th, and as you saw, we did our morning walk in the earlier clip. We always try to do a morning walk every day, and then we went and did I did spend some time reading this morning, and then went to a short Home Depot trip. But I did in fact finish this book today. It is 10:30 this morning. So I was able to read a little bit more after our Home Depot trip, and I will say that I am so glad I read this book. So let's go ahead and talk about this book. Before we do, though, I did rip it right here. And a couple of nights ago, I have dropped water on this book, and I was so upset about it. But I think as a result of this ripping right there was because the back got wet. I usually have like a glass of water by my bedstand, and in my carelessness, I hit it as I was reaching for this book in bed, and it just got this completely wet. What I ended up doing is I pressed it in between two books and had a blow dryer and left it overnight, smushed in that position. And yeah, you could barely tell. There's just like a little ripple effect in one page, but that's where the bookmark was, and so I had to take the bookmark out. They're like magnetic ones, so that happened. And then of course, as I was opening it up, that spine part right there. So, but anyway, the book, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about it. So I did enjoy this book as it was continuing. When I know I mentioned when I first picked it up, I just wasn't getting into the story as much, but I wasn't sure if that was because I was trying to read a nonfiction book and was enjoying that a lot more, wanting to pick up that book more so I wanted to give this all the time that I gave the first book. So it took a while for me to get into it. It was also 3 timelines, and so that was just wrapping my brain around, the going and juggling between these 3. And of course, you're always going to have a timeline that you like more than the other. So there was one timeline that I did enjoy more so than the other 2. So it was just trying to get into it. But as you got to know the character a little bit more, and the characters, I was finding that I really did enjoy it. Maggie is a character that I would say that I do identify a little bit with, but not as much. Like I saw a lot of maybe my sister in her than me kind of personally. I do think like the decision making process that she was thinking about which one was the right one, like the path that she wanted to choose, I could identify with that part. But with her selflessness in the jobs that she did, a Navy nurse in 91, and in 2001 she's a young medical student. So that was an interesting perspective to read from, and so I found that in the first book I really connected with Libby a lot, and that is still my favorite book out of the 2, but I'm not knocking this down. I absolutely love Gabriel Meyer's writing. Love this world that she's building and uncovering more and more of what time crossers, this time crossing gift reveals. And so highly recommend this book as well. If you liked the first one a lot, I think you will like this one as well. And yeah, I can't recommend it enough. I can't wait to get into the next book, which is For a Lifetime. And needless to say, I did finish my TBR for this month. So I get to buy a book for my reward. And no surprise, I'm going to buy For a Lifetime. It just came out. And so I now feel like I'm up to date with a lot of the other booktubers who have read that book. And so I can't wait to dive in. And I love learning new things in history, which reading the author's note, Gabriel Meyer is just a great researcher, and what her heart behind all of this is to highlight some things in history that we normally don't know about or read about. And I really love that she does that, and she gives her characters just more life. And she will always tell you in the back if she altered anything, which she tries not to do. And I appreciate her for that. So, Okay, I'm done like raving about the book, and I think that this could easily be my favorite series of the year. So, all right, now that I have completed my book for the vlog, I am going to do my TBR game, and I think I'm going to do it a little differently. In the past, I've always shown like the roles and then what I chose for the role and then back and forth with the clips. But since this is an unusual month because I'm filming vlog style, I think I'm going to do all my roles first on camera, and then I will backtrack later and show you what I would pick for the roles. So, and I think I'll do that with my husband here too. So we're going to try it this way. I think it'll help me with my editing as well to kind of keep with that. And so, yeah, my plans for this month is I want to create a whole pile of possibilities. And so let's do 4 books for my roles this time. And if I can put Chantel's Read Your Bookshelf Challenge, I can fit that book on here, I will. If I can fit any of the readathon books, I will try, but I don't want to make this as all my roles picked will be from the readathon or from, like, I want more books, more of a variety. So that's what I'm going to do. But I will, if I want to double up at one point with a readathon book, I will do that. And if I can, I will put Chantel's Read Your Bookshelf Challenge book on here as well. So that's the plan, and that way I could just have a stack of books, and I'm excited about that. I'm also debating whether or not if I want to also pull a country for my Read Around the World challenge that I've neglected so far. So I think I will do that as well. And yeah, let's just go crazy this month, guys. In July, let me just have a list of books that I can do, and that's what we're going to do. So let's go ahead and we'll pick my Read Around the World country that I'm going to find a book for. So it's been a minute, so I might have to remind us a little bit about like the regions if I have that. So what's this one? This says Cambodia. It's actually a country in East Asia. So East Asia or Southeast Asia. So as I'm looking for books, I am going to put this to the side and I will tell you later on. Okay, but all right, so let's go ahead and do our first roll for our July TBR. And let's see. How I'm going to do this is I will roll my die, and I'm going to use washi. So I'm going to hold this up. I hope that doesn't bother you much with the glare and everything, but I'm going to hold this up, and I will start off where we left off last time with my rolls. So let me go ahead and get this all set up. Okay. So I have my washi tape right here, and that's where I ended up last time. So we're going to go this way, and as I roll, I will roll in this. So roll, and then kind of show you right there. That's what's going to have to happen. Yeah, this is makeshift. I'm sorry. We're going to go back to the original one next month. So, all right. So 4 rolls. Let's get started. First roll. Okay. Do you see that? That is a 6. So let me get the sticker. Maybe I should have, yeah, I'm going to leave it like that so that's easier. Okay, my counter. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I landed on 20 in 2020. And you know what? What I'm going to do is I'll just put different color stickies on here so I'll remember what I rolled. Roll 2. 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a challenge prompt. Okay, there we go. That's that washi. Roll number 3. Okay, roll number 3 is a 5. Got some big numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Another challenge prompt. Goodness. There you go, the flowers. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 4th and final roll. Okay, we ended with a 3. Where was I? Where are we here? 1, 2, and 3, which is the fast forward button, which is continue a series. Okay, so that's where we landed, which was where we landed the last time. All right, that looks great. I will say I'm a little sad that I didn't get any of the random prompts one. Why not? You know what? I know I said 4 rolls, but I want to see if I can hit any of the random ones. So let's do one more roll. Roll number 5. Okay, that is a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 20 and 20, 20. I guess it wasn't meant to be. Okay, there's my 20 and 20. So I have to have 2 from there. I guess it wasn't meant to be. Let me go ahead and see what I can find for these books. So we'll see how long it'll take me. Okay, so that took a little bit of digging, but I think I got my stack. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and tell you my selection for Cambodia. I think I'm going to do this one on audio because my library has it on audiobook. And so let me go ahead and read you the synopsis. So this is called The Rent Collector by Cameron Wright. Survival for Ki Lim and Sang Lee is a daily battle at Stung Minchi, the largest municipal waste dump in all of Cambodia. They make their livings scavenging recyclables from the trash. Life would be hard enough without the worry of their chronically ill child, Nisei, and the added expense of medicines that are not working. Just when things seem worst, Sang Lee learns a secret about the bad-tempered rent collector who comes demanding money, a secret that sets in motion a tide that will change the life of everyone it sweeps past. So this is at a rating of 4.26, so it is a popular book. And so, yeah, we'll see if I'll enjoy it. And then that would complete that country. And then let's go into our rolls. So for roll number 1, I got 20 and 20, 20, which was this first gold one. So for that one, I decided to use a book from my readathon TBR list, and that is The Ringmaster's Wife by Christy Cambrin. And I've already explained a little bit about this book. So this is the book that I will select for that, but it's dual timeline and it's dealing with a circus, the Ringley Brothers Circus. So I thought that would be a good choice to put that for there. My second roll is, let me go ahead and take these off so I can give you a visual. So my second roll was down here, which was a challenge spot, and I have my challenge wheel here. Before I spin it though, I decided to put 2 other series that I'm going to pit against each other. One is Flight of the Raven, which is also part of that readathon. That is part of the TBR for that readathon that I'm doing. And so this is the second book in the Ravenwood Saga. I can't remember what the series name was. And then the second book I'm going to pit against it is The Record Keeper by Charles Martin. And this is the final book in his Murphy Shepherd series. So either would be a great choice. So let me go ahead and pull up my wheel of names. So we have our Disney villains for this month and our Disney couples. So this month we have Rapunzel and Flynn with their villain who is Mother Gothel. Then we have Odette and Derek. Their villain is Rothbart. We have Jasmine and Aladdin. Their villain is Jafar. And then we have Ariel and Eric, which their villain is Ursula. And so let me go ahead and shuffle this once. Okay, so that's shuffled, and we'll see if I get a book or if I get a prompt. Okay, I get a villain, which is Ursula. All right, let's see what Ursula's prompt is. Comes alphabetically last. So that's the title. Okay, so alphabetically last. Oh, that is easy. That is the record keeper. And so I did count the because that's part of it. But even if I didn't count the, R is after the letter F. So yay, I'm excited. I get to finish a series. And even though it adds an extra book to my pile, I am excited nonetheless to finish this Charles Martin series. Okay, so roll number 3 was also a challenge one. So let me go ahead and pull up the wheel. And all I'm going to do is push close. All right. The 2 books I'm going to pit against are 2 nonfictions, and the first one I'm going to put is A River Runs Through It, and that is my book for Chantel's Read Your Bookshelf Challenge. So I did mention that during the readathon because it's a book I put on the readathon. And I know nothing about it except it's set in Montana and it's a collection of short stories. And so that's what Chantel's challenge for July is for the Montgomery Path. And this one is the book I'm going to pit against it, and that is She Walked Before Us, Grace, Courage, and Strength from 12 Women of the Old Testament by Jill Eileen Smith. And I mentioned this one before also on my channel, but essentially we're going to look at some women in the Bible. The names are Miriam, Ruth, Rahab, Hannah, Deborah, Michael, Abigail, and Bathsheba. And it's just a in-depth study on them, and there's questions. So if I do get this one, I would treat this more as like my morning devotional reading. We'll see which one I will get or if I don't get a book. So okay, so this one I don't get a book, but as you can see that says Ariel and Eric. So this is going to be a non-reading prompt. Let's go ahead and see what Ariel and Eric is. Okay, so Ariel and Eric, I have to dress like one of the characters in any of the books that I read this month, and I have to take a picture of it. So I'm glad I'm doing a lot of books because that gives me such a variety to choose from. So you will have to see this later on, maybe in a vlog. I'll do that, and I'll take a picture with the book that I decide to dress like one of the characters from. And this will be really cool for the next book I'm going to mention if I choose that book. But all right, roll number 4, I had to pick a book. Oops, let me go ahead and take off that challenge one. So roll number 4, I had to pick a book that continues in a series, and so this book I am going to immediately put on, and that is For a Lifetime by Gabriel Meyer. I am going to buy this book, and hopefully that will get in on time for me to read it. I'm sure it will. Very excited to jump back into this world. All right. My final roll, I landed on 20 and 24 again, and I'm knocking books off my list. And I decided to pick another book to complete a duology, and that is The Peasant King by Tessa F. Shar, which is new to my collection, and I can't wait to jump into this. I will be up to date with all her books until her new one that's coming out in November. So yeah, this is, I don't want to give a lot away, but this is during the time of King Cyrus, I believe. So yay. So those were my rolls, those are my reads, and I only own 2 of them currently, but I can get others from the library, and one is going to come in through the mail. So I will then now turn this over to my husband, who is going to do his rolls, and he did complete his TBR, so he does not have to do a punishment roll. So yeah. Okay, so here's hubby in here. He's being silly. All right, so the last part he ended was 4th of July. So he's gonna actually use the 6-sided die, and he's gonna roll how many times? Twice, okay? So let's go ahead and put the camera on you. There we go. Okay, that's roll 1. Okay, you can even do it. There you go. So he had gotten 2. So we're gonna move your counter. Okay. So this is Father's Day. So he has to pick a book. From the Wordle of the day.
Oh man.
That'll be fun. Okay, let me get another counter for you. So go ahead and show the camera. Roll number 2. Okay, 3. I have your other counter here, so just count.
1, 2, 3. The sunglasses.
Okay, sunglasses. And that is nostalgia. Combine our old prompts. Okay, so what you're gonna have to do is select from this jar 2 prompts, and you have to combine them to find a book. All right, so let's get these 2. Let's find out what your 2 prompts are.
You get 2 right next to each other.
Oh, okay, cool. What is it? Show the camera.
I can't. Fix. Roll the die to pick your prompt pile. Peek at the next 3 cards and choose one. Does that even work?
Let me see.
Interesting. Nope, no. Hold up. You get to choose. Let's make this work in our favor. So, you can do it. Let's go ahead and you can pull 3 of them and combine the best for the one that you have on that one. Okay. So what does that one say?
Flip a coin for the color of the cover. Heads is pink and tails is blue.
Okay.
This is getting complicated.
Okay, then pick just one. Fine. All right, pick another one.
All right. Phoebus, an award-winning book. There we go.
Oof, that one's gonna be... I always found that one being hard.
Just any award.
Okay.
You don't have a coin on you by chance, do you?
I do not. Iterate. He could not do the Fates card, so we decided that he would just pull a different card, and so he has to flip a coin. So he's back. All right, so he's going to flip, and if it's, he already flipped it, so heads is a pink cover, tails is a blue cover.
Tails.
Okay, so he has to find a book that is mostly blue. We're gonna do mostly blue. And it has to be an award-winning book. So if you can combine both prompts, great. If not, he might have to do 2 separate books. But I'm sure he can find one book. Okay.
There's so many awards out there.
All right, and so now we're gonna play Wordle. And so what we're gonna do is
just play it on the laptop.
we're gonna play it on the laptop. So I have today's Wordle. So what we're gonna do is, since you can't really see what today's Wordle is, we're just gonna play it, and then I'll show you when we guess it. Okay. So as you can see there's a glare, but the word is drove. So we can brainstorm here on camera. Let's show your face too. So anything with like someone driving something or a drove of animals or people like leaving in droves. That could be another one. There's a possibility.
Drive cars, drive nails, drive people crazy.
Well, okay.
They all count. You
Yeah.
drive a golf ball. So anything related to those topics
Drove.
could be. That's a good word, actually.
That's a very good word, especially with what you like to read. So, okay, so I'm just going to film for my husband. He rarely likes to be in front of the camera, which that's fine. But I'm going to go ahead and talk about his first read. And so he ended up landing on Father's Day, which was Wordle, and the word was drove. So he decided to go with a drove of people, and he wants to read A Blaze of Glory by Jeff Shara. This is the it's part of the Civil War series, and I think this is like the Southern point of view, the Southern theater point of view. I'm not really sure, but as you can see, the army is advancing, so a drove a force towards the other line, and so that is his pick. And then for his second pick, he ended up getting Summer Days, which is nostalgia based off of my first TBR game, and he initially got the Fates, which that didn't work for this prompt, so he ended up picking another one. But these were his two prompts. So Pink Blue is the title, and it's to flip a coin for the color of the cover. Heads is pink and tails is blue. He ended up getting tails, which is blue, and he ended up getting Phoebus, an award-winning book. And so he chose a book that we're both not familiar with, but it's won a Newbery Medal award, and that is Sounder by William H. Armstrong, and the illustrations are by James Barkley. And this is a dog story, and it takes place during the 19th century South, and it's an African American boy who has this dog who I guess goes out with the father to find food, and I guess I don't know if it's the story told through the dog or if it's told by the boy's family, but they're fighting racism during this time. And it says here on Goodreads that it's a classic, and if you like timeless stories such as Old Yeller and Where the Red Fern Grows, then you might really like this book. But you can tell that the majority of the cover is blue, so that would count. Okay, so this video was probably a little choppy, and thank you for bearing with me on the holding up the game and the rolls, but I will go back to my regular game in August, where I will do the different clips. Actually, I'm going to end my video today because I'm not going to pick up another book until July 1st, which is in 2 days. So I'm just going to reset, get all the books, take a break from my reading so I can start fresh in July. And yeah, so I do have a question. If you guys would let me know in the comments about what you would prefer as far as the vlog goes. If you have a preference, I would love to know. But when I read my books, I normally don't give you a synopsis until after I have completed the book to tell you my thoughts. If you like it that way, do let me know. Or if you prefer to see me and my raw thoughts as I'm going through the vlog each day, giving you a summary of what I've read. So I kind of showed a little bit of that with the Habits of the Household book. And I feel like that worked for that book because it was nonfiction and I was able to walk through each segment with you. But for other books like my fiction reads, I feel that it's better for me just to complete them and then tell you a summary at the end. So let me know if there's a preference for you. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, I hope you give it a thumbs up, and I hope to see you again in my next video. All right, I will see you guys in the next vlog. Bye.